Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to take the latest news, sift through all the noise, and, well, get you the essential knowledge you need to be totally caught up.
And today we are immersing ourselves in the world of animated romance.
Yes, we are, because the news has finally dropped. It's like a perfect, unexpected confession.
The second season of Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You is officially confirmed and dated.
It's a huge validation for fans who've been waiting, so patiently.
Exactly. And for you, the listener, whether you're already deep into Mizuho's journey or just catching up on what's become a defining modern romance hit.
Our mission is to give you all the key details.
We're locking in the premiere date, we're looking at the creative team, and we're diving into that core emotional story that makes the series just so magnetic.
Okay, so let's jump right in. The hard data, the thing everyone's been refreshing their browsers for.
When does Season 2 actually arrive?
Exactly.
You can mark your calendars. The premiere date is January 8th, 2026.
Okay, January 8th.
But the source material was really specific about the airtime, which I just think is a wonderful little detail for the really dedicated fans. It airs at 25.28 JST.
25:28. So for those of us not Japan, we should probably clarify that.
Right.
That means it's actually airing at 1:28 a.m. on January 9th. It's essentially this late-night kind of hushed debut.
Which feels entirely appropriate for the story, doesn't it?
It really does. It's a story about these intense, often secret teenage feelings.
Yeah, it adds a certain intimacy to the whole release. And look, while the date and time are, crucial, the detail that really validates all the excitement is the creative team.
They're all coming back.
They are. The consistency there is what ensures the show's success wasn't just, a fluke. You need the original architects back to keep that signature tone.
And they gave us more than just a date. They gave us a little taste of the atmosphere of that brand new key visual.
Yeah.
To me, it just completely confirms the vibe is intact.
It's the perfect tease, isn't it? The artwork just radiates that specific youthful energy that defined the first season. You see the characters, they're bathed in this soft light.
Right, with that pastel palette,
Yeah.
pinks and soft blues. It immediately signals romance and vulnerability.
And I think the composition itself hints at the romantic twists and turns to come. It's not giving away plot points, obviously.
Right. No, but it captures that feeling of like standing on the brink.
Yeah.
Balancing youthful dreams against all the chaos of being a teenager.
Mizuho and her friends are clearly moving forward, but that soft focus, it suggests the path is far from clear.
So basically, it's an emotional anchor for the audience. It's telling you, hey, the confusion, the butterflies, all that high-stakes emotional stuff you loved, it's all coming back.
Exactly. The series makes internal feelings visually palpable, and this key visual just reassures us that that commitment hasn't changed a bit.
So the sources are promising all the feels, and it looks like they're going to deliver. But feelings only work if the structure holds up. What should viewers be looking out for? Will Mizuho just embrace this new path Kazuki set for her? Or is Season 2 going to throw more complex challenges her way?
Well, given the way the manga goes, we should definitely anticipate her newfound happiness getting tested.
Can't be that easy.
No, young love, especially when it starts so suddenly, is never smooth sailing. The show excels at exploring those new challenges that really, test your resolve.
Right. Commitment, misunderstandings.
All of it. Reconciling who she thought she was with who she's becoming. That internal struggle is really what's driving the anticipation for Season 2.
Which brings us perfectly to that creative engine. We know who's returning, but we need to get into why their specific skills guarantee the quality will stay high.
This is where we look past just the names on the list and into their actual work. So, directing again is Junichi Yamamoto.
And his prior experience is pretty important here.
It's crucial, specifically his work directing More Than a Married Couple, but not Lovers.
Okay, so connect the dots for us. Why is that specific show so vital for this one?
Because that series, just like this one, relies so heavily on managing romantic tension. It has to balance high comedy with, genuine emotional stakes.
And Yamamoto's good at that.
He is an expert at pacing. He knows exactly when to slow down for that huge emotional confession and when to speed up for a funny misunderstanding. And in a show where the tension between Mizuho and Kazuki is everything, that ability is, it's the whole ballgame.
Okay, so the master of pacing is back. But what about the narrative backbone, the script? That's handled by Yu Murai.
It is.
And the sources point to Murai's work on Hayai Gakura, which is more fantasy, a little bit of historical drama. So I have to ask, how does writing political intrigue translate to, the very delicate world of teenage romance?
That is a fascinating question, and it speaks directly to the depth we should expect. I mean, a writer who can handle complex fantasy is skilled at multi-layered narratives, right?
Sure. Deeper character motivations.
It's exactly world building. In a romance, that translates into really sophisticated internal conflict. Mizuho's anxiety won't just be a simple plot point. Murai's background suggests they can craft these intricate inner monologues and dilemmas that feel weighty. It's more than just teen angst. It's real emotional drama.
That really shifts my expectations.
Right.
It suggests the dialogue won't just be sweet, it'll carry real thematic weight.
It should.
Okay, moving on to the sensory stuff. We can't overlook the look and the sound. The character designs are by Yoshiba.
And Shiba's work is just fundamental to the show's charm. If you look closely at season 1, the visual language used to show anxiety or intense emotion. It's stellar.
Yeah, the expressions are so detailed.
They are. Shiba is so good at drawing characters whose expressions like a subtle frown or a blush that creeps up the neck convey enormous amounts of unspoken feeling. We should expect that to continue for sure.
And then there's the score. It's absolutely crucial in a show like this. Keiji Inai is returning for the music.
And his work on why Raeliana ended up at the Duke's mansion is the key context here.
Right.
Inai specializes in scores that aren't just background noise, they actively elevate the romance. The Raeliana score was known for these sweeping, dramatic orchestral sections.
Lots of strings, right. Grand, but also intimate.
Exactly. So when Kazuki made that confession in season 1, the music was almost a character itself. We can anticipate Inai using specific musical motifs for Mizuho's anxieties or Kazuki's commitment. It makes every emotional beat feel epic.
So, if we step back and look at the whole picture, Yamamoto on pacing, Murai adding complexity, Shiba on visuals, Inai on the soundtrack, is there any potential downside? Could this consistency lead to maybe stagnation?
That's a valid point to raise, but I think given their pedigree, especially Yamamoto's history with navigating evolving relationships, the validation isn't just about maintaining quality, it's about having a team that's proven they can handle the evolution of a relationship.
So they can inject new drama while keeping the core charm.
That's the real advantage here.
Okay, let's root this all back in the source material. We wouldn't even be here without the manga.
The beloved manga by Haruka Mitsui. And the reason it resonated so strongly is, well, its grounded nature. Mitsui didn't rely on over-the-top tropes.
She focused on relatable themes, right? Characters who felt like real struggling teenagers.
Exactly.
So for anyone just jumping in, let's set the context. Let's do a quick recap of Mizuho's journey and where we left her at the end of season 1. She started as this super relatable heroine defined by disappointment.
Absolutely. Her story begins at a really low moment. It's her 17th birthday, which is supposed to be this huge milestone, and it's a total disaster.
Everything goes wrong.
Everything. Her parents forgot. Her long-standing crush was completely inaccessible. School events were canceled. She just felt utterly invisible, like her teenage dreams were dissolving.
It's that feeling that fate is just conspiring against you.
Yeah.
When you want life to be magical and it's just mundane. She was at rock bottom.
Correct. But that low point was the catalyst. The world stops being mundane when her childhood friend Kazuki, who's always just kind of there, he steps forward.
And he completely overturns everything.
Totally. With this profoundly heartfelt, completely surprising confession of his feelings.
And it wasn't just as simple, hey, I like you.
Yeah.
It was this moment of deep sincerity that just completely changed the geometry of her reality.
Precisely. She was forced to confront the difference between the crush she chased and the real connection that just appeared when she least expected it.
So the show's premise completely flips on its head.
Yeah.
It goes from chasing an ideal to exploring this complicated but very real possibility right in front of her.
And for any listeners who realize they need this emotional context, remember, the first season is right there on Crunchyroll.
You got plenty of time to catch up before January.
Which brings us to the thematic core of season 2 and why the story continues to captivate. It's really about the fundamental duality of young love.
You mean the contrast between two very potent emotional states?
Exactly. On one side, you have that sharp pang of unrequited love for her old crush, which doesn't just vanish overnight.
Right.
And on the other, you have the sweetness and, frankly, the terrifying vulnerability of a brand new reciprocated connection with Kazuki.
That duality is the perfect engine for romantic drama. It forces her to ask, how do I let go of the fantasy of what love should be versus accepting the messy, wonderful reality of what love is with Kazuki?
It's a nostalgic but deeply resonant dive into the trials of young love. It reminds you of those intense feelings where every text message feels like a monumental event.
It's not just about who she chooses. It's about her choosing to believe she deserves happiness, even if it comes in an unexpected package.
And that creative team we discussed is perfectly suited to handle that tension.
It's that combination of a relatable heroine, defined by her self-doubt, and a staff with a proven ability to handle romantic nuance that makes this announcement so significant.
It speaks to the enduring appeal of the genre when it's done well. We're all rooting for Mizuho, but we understand the emotional difficulty of turning away from a long-held fantasy.
Okay, let's bring this deep dive to a close with a summary of the vital takeaways.
The essentials.
If you remember nothing else, remember this date. Anyway, I'm falling in love with you. Season 2 premieres on January 8, 2026.
Or 1:28 a.m. on January 9th, depending on how you're watching. And remember, the quality is validated by that returning staff. Director Junichi Yamamoto, composer Keiji Inai, they're back.
So the delicate pacing and the emotional soundscape are secure.
And the core dynamic, Mizuho navigating her first real relationship after Kazuki's shocking confession, is set to define the new season.
It's the perfect winter watch, but it demands you catch up first. So since we spent so much time on that contrast between Mizuho's old feelings and her new relationship, we want to leave you with one final thought to mull over.
Given the weight of Kazuki's selfless, life-altering confession, and considering Mizuho was still reeling from her past disappointments, how much does the act of receiving love from Kazuki now influence her ability to truly return it?
Or is the specter of unrequited love just a foundational scar she has to overcome before she can fully commit?
That's the emotional baggage she's bringing into January. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.